The Nina and Mark Show. We will keep you in the know. Current events and special guests. Our podcast is the best. You don't want to miss the Nina and Mark Show.
Welcome, everybody.
Well, Mark, you were telling me about you woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and you had this idea in your head and what was it?
I was just thinking about how vocabulary it has such an impact on people. There are some people in this world who are well knowledged and they speak well about the topics that they're versed in, and then you have people that can speak fluently and use a wide range of words to get to the point quicker. It's just interesting because people associate it with intelligence, or they trust people more when somebody speaks to you with words that are not regular. It's not like someone's saying to you, let's have some beers and watch the game tonight, and someone would say it different. They'd be like, shall we engage in some cocktails while we watch the pucks with whatever. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just making stuff up. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Like, some people have a large range of words that they use daily, and it's impressive to people.
So long as you still understand what they're saying. Some people talk too fancy that you don't know what they're saying. But some people, like, they just have a lot to choose from, and it comes in very handy for lyric writings. That's where I notice it, that it comes in handy when you're trying to write songs, write music.
Yeah, that's the trick about lyric writing too, because sometimes simplicity is the best. It's very conversational sometimes, and that's what reaches people, the simplicity. But sometimes, depending on the style of music, you might have, like, for instance, Rush. Depending on the themes of your music, you might use broader and more explanatory words or whatever it is. So it's all subjective depending on what you're doing, right?
Less is more. Some songs are only a few words sometimes.
Yeah.
We've come across that.
That's
I thought, wow, that was a big hit, these whole 4 words in this song.
Yeah, it's true.
And then other songs are so complicated. And sometimes I think we've written a few interesting songs. Like, my favorite is probably 1984.
Yeah.
I love that. That was a lot of fun writing that, and just the lyrics, and putting the lyrics together. It was so much fun. It was so interesting. We did so much, like, research and twisting things around, moving stuff around.
That's right.
We went, like, costume shopping, and that was a lot of fun. So that vocabulary definitely helped there. Vocabulary helped a lot with that song.
Well, it's knowledge too. I mean, for me, it was, I'm not the biggest of a book reader all the time, and I think that's also part of how you pick up a lot of words, is when you read a lot. People who do that. Me, I'm not so much of a reader. Like, I don't read a lot of books all the time. Some people are just bookworms and they read a lot, but me, not so much. I tend to pick up things in films and movies and stuff like that. Maybe at some point our listeners could have a listen to the song 1984 that we created, which would be exciting for us because we would value your opinion on the song, and we think it's quite clever, and it's a fun little ditty. So we hope you guys might have a listen to it at some point during our podcast. Maybe we'll play it.
I'm very proud of that song. Of all the things that you do in your life, I'm very proud of that song. Like, what we did, we had a party. It was so much fun. We did dress up, the 80s dress up for it. It was it brought a lot of cheer, and we had an event. Like, it just gave us something to celebrate. Like, we didn't just write a song. We had a party. We had an event. We were dressing up. There was food. It was fantastic. I'd love to do that again.
It was nice, and it was a lot of fun and our first time performing as the band. Though we were lip syncing on the stage, but
because we didn't have that much for equipment.
No. we start off low budget, but we're working our way up to the upper ranks.
But the lyrics are ours, the music, like
Yeah.
it's ours. It's an original piece of work. So when you think that you make something, it might be, maybe it's a bit raw, right? It could
Yeah.
always, like, it's probably, I'd say it's a bit raw. That's okay. It's ours. Like, it's original. We made that. Like, it was our own rough thing that we made, and
Yeah.
there you go. There's our song.
I mean, it's something to be proud of for anybody who's creative, really. You're taking all these ideas and little pieces of the puzzle, and at the end of it, you're like, this makes sense. This actually makes sense. Like, we had so much to start with, and it painted a really nice picture at the end, right? So I'm proud of us, Nina, for doing 1984 for sure.
Too. And we're opposite learners, actually. I didn't realize that until you just was talking about it a few minutes ago when you said there's book learners and then there are people that learn from like hands-on and movies and documentaries and films. So that's, you've described Sam as well. Like Sam's an opposite learner too. Like he learns differently. But there's hands-on learning. So practical learning, that's called practical learning, right? So when you have the hands-on, my practical learning, like very young, I learned to fix things and take things apart and put them back together, fix them.
Yeah.
That's practical learning. I learned that from watching someone that was able to fix almost everything. I watched him do it. And I remember thinking, I said to him, I was just a young teenager. I said, do you know what you're doing? And nosy, do you know what you're doing? And he said no. And I said, so why did you take it apart? Like, what are you doing? And he said, well, it's already broken, so maybe I'll fix it or maybe I won't, but it's already broken. He wasn't laughing. He was like kind of matter of fact. It's like, it's already broken, so I took it apart and I'll see if I can fix it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But what he really had said to me is, maybe like there's a chance I could fix it by me trying, and maybe I'll learn how to. And he fixed most things. So what I learned from that is like, that's practical learning. And if something's already broken, and if you think, well, maybe I'll tackle this, maybe I'll take this thing apart and see if I can fix it. Yeah, you learn that way. So you've got your practical learning, and then you have people that are going to read everything and say, oh, what does the instruction manual say? The book learners, and sometimes you can look everything up. You can just look everything up in some kind of a manual or a book somewhere. So that's me. I do that.
There's a lot of people out there that just, what, a manual? You want me to read this? And it's daunting, like sometimes you get some manuals that are just, they're so thick and detailed, and you're like, I can't take it on. I just can't do it. To be more hands-on, it's like your car breaking down or something like that. You learn the process of how to change your oil if you really needed to, or your tire, or the basics of trying to figure out, if your battery is dying or something like that. So all these things are always helpful to get in there hands-on and learn as well. And of course, we got YouTube these days, so you can pretty well do anything from recipes to learn anything. So
I read manuals. I read my car manuals because half of it's French anyway, so it's really not as big as you think it is. And some of it is pictures, like you see what it is, like, oh, that means this, and that means this, and that means this. And I don't like to be surprised. Like if it's your car and you're going to be driving it, you plan on driving it for whatever, like it's your car, you should know what the things do. Like I do. I read my manual. My husband, the one time, he's like, what are you going to do? What do you have planned? He was going to go do something. I said, I'm going to read the car manual. I had a new car and I said, I'm going to read that car manual, go through that. And he's like, wow, nice. Okay, have fun. See ya.
Let me know how that works out for you.
It's useful. It's useful. Like there's really useful things in there. It might be, and doesn't take very long. Yeah. It does not take very long. If there's anything I'm not supposed to read, I don't conform. If there's anything that If you tell me not to read something or not to watch something, guaranteed. Like I don't really watch much of anything for TV, but if there's something that's banned or I'm not supposed to watch, I'll watch it. If banned books, I like banned books. If they're banned, if I'm told not to read them, for sure I'm going to read it. Anything that's banned, or if it's going to get pulled off a shelf, or if there's a chance that it's going to be banned, I'm probably going to read it first because I need to know what's in there. I'm nosy like that.
It's very appealing to know why it's banned. Why on earth is this? There must be some good stuff in there that's a little racy or whatever. But yeah, it's intriguing.
Some of it's just nonsense, really. And I think that if anything, by banning, and it's some countries that ban the books. So by banning certain books, they brought attention to them by banned book readers like me. I'm sure there's lots of. I think that's an actual category of banned book readers. I remember I found a list on a bookmark in the library. Somebody had this list of banned books, and I just started checking them off. I'm like, right, okay, oh, okay, Lolita, oh, okay, check, and you're just going through, and some of it you're thinking, I don't know,
Well, it's like in music or when you have parental advisories on things. I don't know if they do it so much anymore, but when you used to get a CD or whatever it was, and they had the plastic wrap with the parental advisory on it. What do you think? I mean, that teenager is going to buy that first, right? It's that kind of thing it's almost like a marketing scheme to sell more CDs or books or whatever it is.
You want the restricted stuff. Yeah, if it's restricted, if you're told you can't have it, it's like, but I want it then. If I can't have that, then I'm going to have it. I noticed when I was a kid, looking for things that are restricted. Not, you can't have that, you can't watch that, you can't, the restricted movies, even going to the theater. It's like, what's the rating on it? It had to be under a certain, remember 13, 14, whatever they had them rated at?
PG, 13.
If it was 18, you had to have ID, or if you were going on a date and you were under 18 and the date wanted to see, they were over 18 and wanted to see a certain movie, and they can't take the kid with them, their date, because of the rating on the movie. But you wanted to watch it and once it came out of the movies, anyone could watch it anyway. But because it was rated, you wanted to watch it. I feel the same way about alcohol. The age of 19, because of the age restriction, you can't drink till you're 19, I think that people maybe want to drink before 19 because that restriction's there. But if
that they're ready by the time they turn 19.
If the restriction isn't there, I don't think it'd be such a big deal. There's lots of countries that it's Italy and Greece, I think, that it doesn't matter. You can drink at any age and it's not a big deal. And I don't really see I don't see winos all over their towns or anything. So it's just normal. It's no big deal. It's just a glass of wine or a beer. Don't make it a big deal. Don't restrict things. And you know what? If they don't restrict books and movies and alcohol and different things, we wouldn't be so attracted to the things that are restricted.
That makes a lot of sense. And what also makes a lot of sense is we don't even know if our video is still recording at this point, so we could just be babbling on. Either way, this is our first show.
We're going to be taking a break, though, and then we can
are going to take a break. Nina's going to hit the bell.
All right.
And then we'll see you shortly.
It is now time to shut up. You now have the conch, Mark.
I'm going to do a 4 count. And here we are back again. This is our first podcast on video, so we're kind of excited to get things started and let you guys, the listener, know that we're here for you and we're listening. And we're also speaking at the same time about topics that are current and cool and stuff that might be of interest to you as well. So thank you, Nia, for putting this all together with me, and it's just so nice to do this.
We work well together.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. It is awesome to be working with you, and it's neat to try something new. And with anything, you just got to jump in and have a little bit of hope and optimism, and things will always come together.
We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
We have some beautiful weather since the last time we got together. It's only been a few days, but already the snow's all melted. It's all gone.
Yes, it is. Usually the first day of spring yesterday. I think we're off to a good start. It looks like the temperatures are going to start to rise, and we're going to be in a place where we're going to be outdoors more often and doing some activities instead of being cooped up in our places. And so much going on, really.
I have new floors coming, being installed at my office, so I couldn't get to my office, so I couldn't even be cooped up. I was kicked out, really. So I was out on the trails already, on 2 different trails today, just looking for something to do because I couldn't really be there. I didn't want to be in their way. It's kind of hard to be in a place that there's flooring being installed. They're like, no, it's okay, it's okay. It's like, yeah, no, I'll go for a walk. Would you like me to go for a walk?
Well, you like I've been starting to go for walks as well in the morning, just down. We have a lot of great paths here in Cambridge and in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, and obviously they go from up to, I don't even know how far they go. I know they go to the Brantford, sorry, and through Kitchener.
It's throughout Ontario. It's all connected. It's throughout Ontario, I believe. It's a new path system it has integrated in like old rail properties, and I think it's supposed to be interconnected throughout all of Ontario.
Well, this is something to behold. Even for us in our location right now, there's a bird sanctuary just down the street, and it's quite fascinating for those bird lovers if you're out there, and just to know the variety of your birds and what's happening with their migration and everything like that. I don't know if I'm going on a topic that we want to go to, but nature seems to be a good one.
You can go to Blair Outdoor Center and take some of the seeds that the chickadees love. I always wear mitts when I go out there. I take the kids out there. Get some of those, they're really oily, those black small seeds. They love those. Go out to Blair Outdoor Center, just stand there really quiet on the boardwalk and hold out some bird seed, hold still, and they'll come out and eat. They'll come eat right off of your hand every single time. I've had success every single time in getting the wild birds to come and eat off of your mitts. It's a lot of fun. Kids love it. I love it more. Kids are fun that way because they remind you to do those things because you want to give them something fun to do. Pets too. You do things for your pets that you forget to do. For a walk, you take your dog for a walk, but you don't go for a walk sometimes, right? So having the dog to take for a walk makes you go for a walk. The walk's good for you as well. It's nice to get back to nature. I love it. I love taking it all in, smelling everything. The car really robs you of some of the enjoyment.
It's important to get out and move. One of the things that, to keep active in the morning is to have a motivational factor, and nature is the best way. I know for a lot of people, you have a lot of stress going on in life, and there's all kinds of things going on, and to just take 20 minutes out of your day and have a nice walk to kind of calm down and be in nature. And there's all kinds of studies that show even grounding, putting your feet onto the earth, and for me, I remember being a kid and, well, we always just ran around in bare feet everywhere that we went. And there's some type of natural frequency in the earth. I don't know what it is. It's 700 and something, whatever it is, but there's a really healing factor in getting out and putting your actual bare feet onto the earth. So I have seen or read somewhere. Being out in nature is the way to go if you want to calm down and relax. And like I said, there's certainly a lot of paths here throughout Ontario, apparently. So get out and enjoy.
We didn't have the same rules and restrictions and everything growing up. And one of the things, I saw an ad remember the wood paneled station wagons?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw an ad for one of those, and the inside looked like a limousine, but it made me think about all the wood. Every family had these wood paneled station wagons, and we didn't have seatbelt laws yet. So you used to be able to get, you could just pack so many people in there, and it was no big deal. You used to fight over who was going to be in the back. You'd get at least 4 kids, sometimes
Yeah.
6, in the back of those wood grained,
yeah.
wood panel station wagons. They were like the clown cars. Like we open the door and then all the people all the clowns come out. That's what it was like, those station wagons. But that's,
Yeah,
we drank from the hose. We weren't allowed in the house, really. Were you allowed in the house during the day? Weren't you kicked out a lot? Like, go play. What are you doing inside? It's beautiful out. Get outside. Why are you in here?
that was always the thing. There was so much involved back in that day I mean, you left your front door open day or night. You know what I mean? Like, it was a very different time. The neighbors, if it was supper time and the kids were out at the neighbors would feed the kids. Or, we had, you moved into the area and someone would bake you a cake and welcome you into the neighborhood and stuff like that. So very different time, and it's just it brings back memories of how things used to be compared to what they are now, and it still need to keep our connection with nature and stuff like that. So
We didn't have social media.
well, yeah,
We got away with things.
This is it. That was a big game changer. Going out with your friends and riding your bicycles and just leaving them on the yard or wherever you were, and not having any concern of somebody coming and robbing your bike or do anything like that. So
My bike got stolen, so I didn't hang out in the same neighborhood, I don't think, as Mark. My bike got stolen. I tried that. Left the bike on
Well,
the
I
yard,
guess
and
that's the
then the
point.
bike just wasn't there.
well, I think I've only owned 2 bikes and they were both stolen. One was actually stolen out of a church, so I don't even know. Can we trust life anymore? Should we take a break now?
Yes, we should take a
Are
break.
you going to ring the bell and just I don't know why we're doing this. It seems
It is now time to shut up. We're gonna take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
We just want to play the musical instruments. We're musicians.
Yes. We're bringing back the band field.
Last weekend,
Yes.
I went to a St. Patrick's Stag and Do.
Oh, nice. Yes.
That was the theme. And they had live music. Passion Over Reason was playing.
Awesome.
I love that band.
Of course.
And it was packed. The place was packed, and people were dressed up. They were in the spirit, and it was so exciting. I had thought I was going to see you there, but I forgot to mention it to you, and then you saw it afterwards. But it would have been really fun. I should have mentioned it.
It was an after fact, yes. It looked like a great time, and of course I know the band. I played with the band for a little bit and rehearsed with them. So if you ever get a chance to come out and see Passion Over Reason, my buddies, yeah, absolutely.
We love live music. We go wherever there's some live music. If it's within walking distance, even a few weeks ago, we had music just down the street. It was walking distance to you, so
Yeah, for sure.
we were there.
You have to take advantage of live music these days. I mean, it's getting harder and harder for musicians to get out there, and when you get an opportunity to get live music into you, absolutely. And we had such a great time that night. There's nothing more like being in a room or a club or a pub or wherever you are with a couple of beers and someone performing live. It's the experience you want.
So, like the last time we were out, I had one drink that night. I had a DD, so we were dropped off, we were picked up, and I had like one drink. I just got to the point now, I thought, since I don't have time to drink, I don't ever seem to have time to drink when I'm out because I'm dancing all night. So now I'm the DDD. I'm the designated dancing driver. So I'm just going to not drink. That one drink just isn't really, doesn't matter to me. Like I don't need the drink. I have a good time. It dehydrates me, if anything. I prefer water. So I just announce it really early now I just tell everybody, it's like, I'm driving. I'll be driving. I'm the DD. Actually, New Year's, I didn't drink anything New Year's, come to think of it.
Yeah,
No, I didn't have anything to
probably.
drink New Year's. I did wind up driving because there's no point in drinking and getting stuck for me. So I just have a good time without it. I just let all my friends have their shooters and drinks, and then I pile them all into my clown car.
It's back to the hanging out with your tribe and, having a good time and checking out some live bands and doing your thing the way you see it, right?
We need some campfires soon too. We've had one so
Yeah.
far this year. We did have one campfire, but we need campfires to get into the spirit of spring.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be the DDD, I'm in.
I'm the DDD. I've just decided. I like it. I really like it. It's such a relief. Like knowing ahead of time. It's like I've decided I'm not going to drink. Do you know what though? When you go camping or when you've got that campfire and no one's going anywhere, that's perfect. That's when I'll maybe have a drink,
Yeah.
maybe two. There's no dancing usually at the campfires to keep me entertained, so I'll probably sit around there and have a drink and watch the fire.
I like it.
I'm gonna have a lot of new friends now, I think, after this podcast. They're like, we need a DDD, and not just that. We should get this trending, right? If you're a person that only like drinks one drink and just dances all night, forget about the drink. Just switch to water or a pop or a coffee, and just don't worry about it. You'll have a much better time. That's my take anyway. I don't need the drink. I have a much better time. I drive all my drunk friends home afterwards and everybody's happy, nobody's worried. Oh, ride program? No problem. I don't care. It's all good. I'm going to pull right on up there and say, I'm the DDD. I'm the DDD, I am. And they'll probably make me walk the line. They're like, you're too happy. Something wrong with you, lady. You better walk this line.
Well, you really put the D in Nina Deeb. Just made that up off the top of my head.
I like it.
But,
I'm the driver. I'll be the driver.
Well, what do you? Is this the ending of our first podcast?
Yes, this is the
How we're
end.
doing
So
it?
we're encouraging you to drink beer, have a DD, go for a walk, get a dog. Get a dog. What else?
Move. Get out there and move.
We'll see you again real soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Are you
you.
gonna hit the bell?
And now it's time to go. We'll be back with another show.
You just made that up? Mm-hmm. That's very clever.
The Nina and Mark Show. We will keep you in the know. Current events and special guests. Our podcast is the best. You don't want to miss The Nina and Mark Show.